Coming up on the WAC podcast, our special guest currently holds the fastest time in the NCAA and the second fastest time in the world in the 100-meter dash. She's a product of Stephenville High School and competes for her hometown university in Tarleton State and has put the Texans on the national stage with some of her performances. We talk all about the sport that was actually her first love, fashion choices for her meets, and much, much more. It's Victoria Cameron joining us next on the WAC podcast. I'm now joined by Tarleton State's women's track and field athlete, Victoria Cameron. And Victoria, I mean, you have been all over the headlines the past couple years, your entire career at Tarleton State. You've had so much success. You just went to the Texas Relays. You have the fastest time in the NCAA this year in the 100-meter dash, 11.01. You tied your own WAC record. Take me through that moment, because it almost looked like you were shocked that you ran that fast and you couldn't believe it after that incredible race.
Yes, ma'am. So, out of all honesty, when I turn around and look at the clock, I see a 10:99, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, no way that just happened. Clock went back 11:01. I'm like, you know what? Tying like a personal best as one of my senior openers is absolutely crazy. And it was so cold outside, really. And then it kind of just that day that you're there and then you run a really good time, like all the emotions really hit you and you're just all the excitement. But at the end of the day, I kind of just try to calm down and remember like there's someone who is like so much higher and so much better than me than like any record could possibly get. And so just kind of bring back myself down to humility at the end of the day.
I mean, right now you're currently sitting at the second fastest time in the world as well. I mean, it's just insane when you think about it. What was the message from head coach Bobby Carter after that race?
Definitely just stunned because that day, just being like out of all honesty, we weren't even sure if I was going to run. He didn't even know when I was going to run until I started actually walking to the tent because it was just so cold and it was raining off and on. And just like the thought process of, is it really worth trying to run a good time in such terrible weather conditions? So honestly, it was just like everything was out of shock because he had no clue I was running 30 until 30 minutes before I even ran.
Oh my goodness. That's pretty crazy when you think about it. When you look at, your entire season from the indoor and now looking at what you're trying to build this outdoor season, what are some of your goals that you have set for yourself? Because I know that the standard is pretty high in Stephenville right now.
Yes, ma'am. So really just hitting that 10-second mark would be absolutely amazing. It would bring, I think it would bring a lot of recognition to Tarleton. I really love Tarleton. I like see so many things saying that, oh, she's gonna transfer, she's gonna transfer. Absolutely not. Like I can't like stress enough how happy I am here, how happy I am to bring recognition to especially my town, really. It brings recognition to my high school. And then just like little kids who are also from Stephenville really look forward to it as well. It brings me a lot of joy and I love to be a good role model for them as well. And then just being here with my family, like I love bringing recognition to this school. Like my parents are from here. I have like all kinds of family from here. So really just bringing recognition and hitting that 10-second mark is the biggest goal that I have so far just for this whole year.
So when you were growing up running and you were looking at obviously running in college, was Tarleton pretty much, if you got an offer from them, that's where you wanted to go?
So, funny story, I actually didn't plan on running track in college. I was set on playing soccer. I actually committed to Tarleton just for soccer. I've rejected other schools saying, absolutely not, I'm not going to run track. Like, that is not on my mind. I was just so set on playing soccer for my entire life. And then, kind of just my senior year of high school, I kind of hit that mental point where I was like, I don't want this to end. And I had to sit down with the soccer coaches and said I would love to run track and field, sit down with the track coaches, and kind of just join the track team maybe 3 weeks before my freshman year of school even started. So I kind of just joined on a fling, and it's been doing great for me ever since.
Yeah, because you were one of the few dual athletes. You were competing with the soccer team, you were doing track and field, so you were pretty much working, I mean, all year long. I mean, helping, obviously soccer helps a lot with endurance and for track and field, it makes a good balance. But when you initially decided, hey, I just want to focus on track and field after you were coming in just to play soccer, what was that kind of conversation where you're like, okay, it's time to officially hang up the cleats and I'm switching completely over to the track?
Yes, ma'am. So the first strike was actually my freshman year when I had that season-ending injury, kind of blew my entire knee out. I was dead set to come back into track season my freshman year. I came back, competed, I believe, 6 months out of surgery. I was so focused on it. And then the main focus then was, you know what? I'm committed here for soccer. I'm gonna play soccer. So I did my sophomore year of soccer season, but then really just that being in season from July all the way to August the very next year, like in a competitive season, it really just like took a big toll on me. And so I had to have a few conversations with my coaches about what was best for my body so that I would have, I'm very lucky to even have a healthy season throughout those 13 months and have like very minimum problems. But it's really that conversation of like, is it is it okay to like risk my track season, which I have a lot of potential in, for a sport that I have a lot of fun in? So it was just that really hard conversation, especially when your coaches wanted you to come back and play soccer, but you just had to make the best decision that was for me physically.
And do you ever, walk by the soccer field, miss it a little bit, or decide, hey, you know what? Maybe Saturday or Sunday, I'm gonna do a pickup soccer game just for fun. Try not to get injured for sure.
Definitely not a soccer game just because I have that past of like of injury, but the track and soccer complex are actually right next to each other. I have girls that are still on the soccer team that are in my class. I know the younger class. I love waving at them every once in a while, like saying hello, supporting them at their soccer games. I still go out, I still juggle a ball, play with a ball. I have a teammate who used to play as well. We'll like juggle together, pass together, just like super simple things. I miss it a lot, but if I'm gonna be honest, but I can live without it.
I mean, could you ever have imagined when you decided, all right, I'm going to focus on track and I'm going to give up soccer that, you know, fast forward to now, you would be the fastest time in the NCAA, the second fastest in the world, set all these records at Tarleton, win all of these conference championships. Could you have even imagined that?
Absolutely not. Back in high school, I always had this block of like, I'm never gonna really make it that far. Like, I'm good at it, but what's the point? And then really shout out to my high school coach, Jeremiah Butchie. He was so patient with me. I had like this attitude of like, I don't even like this sport. I don't want to be here. I can't wait to go, like, I just can't wait to go to soccer practice after this. Big shout out to him. He was patient with me all 4 years of high school. Like, and that patience kind of helped me like find peace in like his lenience just really helped and supported me to change my mind and think maybe I do want to do this in college. But back then, I would have never thought like my little 11.3 in high school would have dropped to almost a sub 11. Like, that's something I could have never imagined.
And, how does that happen? How were you able to, shave that much time off in such a quick amount of time and turn your, I kind of love track to a full on, this is my sport. I eat, live, breathe track and field now.
Yeah, so especially after like whole like knee surgery, I was shocked as well. My freshman times, they're nothing to brag about really. But then we actually had that coaching change. I say it a lot. I've had three different head coaches when I was 2 years into Tarleton. I've had three different sprint coaches as well. I mean, that takes a lot on you mentally, but the coaches that we have now have stayed, and a big part of sharing the same faith as you plays a big role in it, honestly. Like if faith is a big part in your life, then you want it to be in every aspect of your life. And what better way if you're an athlete than your coach, both of your coaches, you're like you talk to my sprint coach and my head coach, just sharing that with me. We shared like a lot of the same ideals. It takes a lot to like giving you that good headspace and then just knowing what they're talking about, what they're teaching. Having that as well shares a lot of trust within your coaches as well. So I trust what my coach does for me. I trust the workout. He trusts me when I communicate how my body is feeling. And then what really, really clicked to shave off time, especially that conference 60, was just finally fixing that block start. And it took a lot of trust. That block start took maybe 8 months to fix. And finally, it's just come together.
And for those that aren't familiar with the block start, obviously in the 60-meter dash, there's not a whole lot of time. I mean, every second matters, and that block start is so important. What is the biggest key that you learned through that to be able to be super explosive? Because I remember I was calling one of them, and it wasn't one of, I think, your best block starts, but you zoomed past everyone else. I mean, it was pretty insane the separation you had in that 60-meter, but how were you able to fix that block start so you pretty much have a near perfect race at this point?
Yeah, so before that 60, just can pretty much getting a lot of rest. It takes a lot of patience to fix it. Just like step by step. You can't fix like 10 things at one time. You got to focus on one thing. And just when it finally clicks, like your head with what your body is doing, I mean, there's so many things you can do to fix it. We have so many tools that we could use to fix it. Obviously, one of them is our great treadmill that you can like mimic maybe a dry phase on, like super simple stuff. It's just one thing at a time. But the biggest part of it is just being patient with your athletes. That is like the biggest thing. My coach has so much patience. Like it is insane. But just having that patience and then like being able to like critique itty bitty things like one at a time. It's never going to be like completely perfect in every race, but it can be close enough.
One of the things I love when I've talked to several track athletes, track and field athletes at Tarleton State, I mean, everyone raves about the culture within this program, what Coach Carter has established. She's bringing in top talent and no one wants to leave. You mentioned you're not going anywhere, obviously. Why is that so important for the culture, the community, and then the ability to, stay in that good mental headspace to be able to run some of the fastest times?
Yeah, so it's really just being happy where you are. And I think it's very sad that at other schools there be athletes at very big schools and they're just not happy where they are. It before you can perform physically on the track, you have to be okay mentally because track and field is just such a mental sport. It's an extremely unforgiving sport where if you don't perform to the best of your ability, especially if you're a bigger known name like your athletes may your own teammates may second guess you, the media may second guess you, and just having that good support system of good teammates who are always around you, and then having good coaches who are always like reminding you, hey, this is part of the plan, you got this. Like all throughout my indoor 60, my 60 at Tech is nothing to compare to the one at conference. And just like sitting down with my coaches, having like real conversations, like not even about track and field, just about me, just about how I'm doing can really actually help and improve because you have to be in a good headspace to do this sport. And that's just the brutal truth about it.
I had done a podcast with Lokesh after he had won the national championship. I know you were also there. What is it like to have a guy like that on the team and really just the whole group that was there being able to support each other on the national stage?
Yeah, so Lokesh is also very strong in his faith. He is a very positive person. He is extremely kind. And then also having, obviously, I'll give like recognition to the other athletes, Jay Brian and Lauren. Jabrion is also I would call him a quite very like fun, quiet kid. He gets along with everyone though. And then Lauren, she's one of my best friends. She is an insane athlete. Like she went to Worlds and everything. And then they're just all of them are just super fun to be around. Oh, and also Christina, she is quite a light to be around. She is so fun. So pretty much having like all of them is just so amazing. Like they're all in a positive, good headspace. They're also like fun to be around. Even though I don't get to see the jumpers much during practice, like we still get along extremely well when we go to meets. And then Locust, like his performance was outstanding. I was there to watch the entire thing, like going from where he was at to finally everything clicking at nationals, and all of a sudden he's a national champion. Like that's so insane. I cannot be more proud for him, really.
That's one of the first things I noticed was just the positivity that just he was so positive the entire podcast, especially when you look at his story. I mean, he's gone through so much. But for you, you had mentioned so much pride in being from Stephenville, getting to rep Tarleton State, bringing attention to the national stage. What is that like for you and in your family, being able to support you the entire way, be really close by, and have that pride for them as well?
My family absolutely loves it. All honesty, they get to come out. My mom actually works here at Tarleton, so I get to see her quite a bit. I mean, just being able to be with my family, especially after meets, is something that not many people get to actually do. And something that I'm extremely blessed to be able to do. I get to come home after meets, like give my parents a hug, and then like I look at Facebook right after my race. My mom's already posting on it. Like just being able to have that really good support system so close to me is something that not many people get to get, and something that obviously I'm not going to take for granted at all. I get to be with my sister as well. Her and I are like two peas in a pod, so it's just something I'm super grateful for, and I know that they're super proud of me. They show it quite a bit, and I just absolutely love it.
Before every race, do you have a certain routine? Are you superstitious? Do you have to go through certain steps to know that you're going to perform at your best?
I have very minor superstitions. I will say I try not to have super big ones just because it can really affect you mentally before your entire race. But having them can actually lead to a good race. I have a very specific warm up. I have very specific music that I listen to. I have a very specific way of getting into my blocks as well. And then very specific foods that I actually eat before my race. It's not anything crazy, but I'll say one of them is like a packet of honey that I like eat 30 minutes before I run. The other one we'll just leave. Yeah.
Okay, we got the packet of honey. I also always notice your hair's always in the pigtails. Is that something that's your signature look? I love it personally.
Yes, I love it so much. And then kind of like going based off of last year, most of my like best races were in pigtails, so I was like maybe the pigtails. But then I just started wearing them, and then I feel like it gives me an opportunity for other people to recognize me and for me to be able to talk to them. It happened a lot at Texas Relays, so I think it's becoming more of like a signature rather than a superstition. And obviously the bows in the hair. I love having bows. I don't say it a lot, but I like treating my track meets as if they're a bit of a fashion show. I love taking forever to get ready, like especially when you have a roommate with you. It's just so much fun. Like track and field is a sport where I can dress up, have fun, do my makeup, where soccer I just never really got to. But here, I can definitely do that.
I love it. So the pigtails and the bows are here to stay for this season.
They are. Yes.
Well, that's awesome. Victoria, it was so great catching up with you. Wishing you the best of luck this season. Cannot wait to see what happens this year, especially at the Outdoor Track and Field Championships and potentially nationals as well, as you're just primed for a great season. It was great catching up and wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you for having me.